Hello, and welcome to the show where I wish I had slightly thicker walls. Like not like really thick walls, but ever so slightly thicker so that I couldn't hear the sounds of everything that goes on in the house all the time, which makes it impossible to record. I have to choose specifically the times when I know people aren't around, which is impossible to ever know because in a house with four people that go to university, people are in and out all the time. What was I saying? Um, I I don't know. Hi, hi. I'm back. Um, I'm a little different today for reasons I'll discuss. Today's topic is hopefully the final episode in this mini series on failure and competence and learning from your experiences and all that sort of thing. I've been talking about that a lot recently, which is really just because that's been the main thing that I've been meditating on recently and that I feel I've been learning through my experiences recently. So it makes sense to talk about it. But yeah, I want to emphasize the not so much the idea of like going out and having experiences and learning from those, more the idea of competence. The idea of succeeding in a sense. Because I've talked about failure, I've talked about it's okay to fail, but I've not really talked about succeeding and how the importance of success and pursuing success. And I'm not here to say success is important. I'm not here to say success is unimportant. Like I've expressed in the past, I think there are good reasons to just accept whatever comes your way. But more, I just want to talk about this idea that we need to be competent, we need to be on, we need to be working all the time. And to kind of illustrate where I'm coming at with this, I'll just share a little bit about what I've been experiencing recently. So I have ADHD, attention attention deficit hyperactive disorder. That's what it is. It's a mental illness, or not illness, but disability. It's not an illness in that it just goes away, but you can do things to mitigate it. Essentially, what it does for me is it makes it difficult for me to focus. I can get things done and I can focus. It just takes way more energy for me to focus than it might for someone else. And if I ever try to do things like math, it's almost impossible. I I can't really do them. I I need to take measures to enhance my focus if I ever want to get those sorts of tasks done. And well, we'll get to how that's been. But yeah, so I I've had ADHD for a while, my whole life. I was diagnosed when I was young, so it's always been a part of my life. It has characterized the way I've lived my life in major ways. When I was in young school, I had trouble focusing, and so I kind of went and got some medication for that, and I took medication through most of high school, which was great because I could get work done, but it had negative consequences. The biggest consequence is that my personality was kind of removed in for the most part. I I wasn't really able to make many friends because I just, all the time I was there, I'd just kind of sit there with my arms crossed, just staring at the floor, really focused, but not really present. And I don't think it was all the medication. I think there was more going on there, but the medication made it worse for sure. When I went into my final year of high school, I well, I was ahead in math. I did math 30, which is like here in Canada, it's the final level of math that they do in high school. I completed that in grade 11, and then I had like 1 year before graduating where I didn't have to do any math, so I stopped taking my medication. And that was really cool because I was able to talk with people and feel like myself in school. Great feeling. And then going into university, didn't take it, and all the way up until present, I'd never really taken it at all. There were like a couple times maybe I took it like for 1 day, but aside from that, didn't take it all. But when I went on the Ecuador mission about a month ago now, I kind of had this realization like, you know, I'm having trouble focusing here. And I think if I could focus better, I could be more present with people. I could be more of myself. I could be a better person. And so I decided, you know, since I have a prescription ready, like it's in my house, I'll just start taking it regularly once I get back home. And that's exactly what I did. I started taking it. And this was not really because I wanted to be better at, well, that's a lie, actually. See, what I what I was thinking was mostly like, okay, this is going to make me a better version of myself. I'm going to be able to be more present with people, more engaged with people, and also I'll be able to be way more productive for my own like creative projects and things like that because I well, I'll just my brain will be better, you know? And I think I'm an intelligent person. I think this will help me better display that intelligence to other people. And so I took it, and sure enough, way more focused, way more confident actually. I was way more able to engage people because I just felt like confident, super focused, and it was great. But things started to shift a bit getting into the second and third week. So I went out of Ecuador with this certain energy. I was very happy, very joyful, very patient, very energized, and I felt I felt good. But I I forgot something really important one day. A meeting I was supposed to meet, and that shifted things majorly. Like, whereas before I was joyful, as soon as that hit, suddenly that just all it crashed down. It disintegrated. I went from happy to angry and frustrated and impatient, and it's probably the worst day I've had in ages. I'm not someone who is known to get riled up or get outwardly angry or any of those things, but I was this time. Something about it hit me really deeply, like nothing really had before. And the weird thing is, I mean, I'm the sort of person where even when I'm like upset, even when I'm having a bad day, I can still exist and I can still be pleasant. But there, I did not want to be pleasant. I didn't want to talk with people. I've never had that much outward negative emotion before, to my memory. So it was really strange, very unexpected. But and the sad thing is, after that day, I never got back to that joy. It just felt like I was way more frustrated and angry and anxious, like really anxious. Like I I was always thinking about whether I had enough time to get done the stuff that I had to get done. And to some extent that was warranted, that was justified because I had a lot of work to get done after Ecuador, just a boatload of stuff, but it it was still unlike any way that I had ever behaved before. I never felt that much anxiety about the future. Generally, with the way my brain works, I just don't really think about the future that much. It's just not on my mind, and I'm not going to worry about something that's not on my mind. So you know, it's worked fine. But that wasn't the case this time. And even after I got done all the stuff I wanted to get done, I still felt restless. You know, I wanted to think about what did I need to do now to set myself up in the future, and will I have enough time? Even though I have boatloads of time, like I still worried, and things got even worse. as I'm undergoing this stress, I begin to feel weird things. I felt old feelings that I didn't think I would have felt before, but that were really strong back in 2021 in the middle of the pandemic when things were really bad. Those feelings were depressive feelings, symptoms of depression. I started to think, oh, people don't really care about me. Oh, I'm I'm a failure. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. These really negative emotions, and they were tearing me down, and it kind of reached its peak when I was just hanging out with some friends in the evening, and the whole time I was silent, just thinking, man, nobody cares. And there's one point where I was talking, and then someone interrupted me, and I felt this deep guttural feeling of pain. Pain like I'd never felt since the pandemic, since being alone and and feeling like some of my friends were not really didn't really care about me. Those things that happened during a time when it was very justified to feel lonely. I mean, it was the pandemic. We all experienced that. But to have that now, at a time when all things considered, my life is great. I'm surrounded by amazing friends, and I've got like pretty much everything I could need. It was it was really strange. It was just strange. I I wasn't sure where it was coming from, and I when those feelings first arrived, I thought, okay, maybe it's a temporary thing, and I was trying to figure out, where is this coming from, but I couldn't really figure it out. And then as it got worse, I thought, oh man, something's really wrong. But what is it? What is going on? And it was finally when I realized, you know, that is one of the symptoms you can get from ADHD medication. As soon as I realized that, I was like, oh, I need to stop taking it. And here's the craziest thing. As soon as I went off of my medication, all of that, all the depression, all the anxiety, all of the negative emotions went away overnight. I mean, okay, the following day I was a bit groggy. I was very tired, so I was a bit out of it. But the day after that, I felt normal, completely normal. It all disappeared. And I kind of realized after that I had this moment of clarity. I have been so obsessed with being competent, with being someone who gets stuff done, with being someone who can be looked up to for his ability to be productive, to be focused, to be present. I had idolized my own competence. And I'm not saying that that was the reason that the medication did what it did to me, but it made me look at my own motivations and reevaluate them and say, okay, why am I so obsessed with that? Do I really need to be focused all the time and at peak efficiency? No. No, I don't. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to be unfocused. It's okay to be imperfect. And so I haven't taken any medication since I had that realization. It's been about a week, and yeah, it's a lot harder to get stuff done. I've had entire days where I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this done, and then I get on my computer and the whole day disappears, and I look back like, okay, what happened there? What did we do? And I can't even tell you. I don't know what happened that day. It just zipped by, and here I am now. I've had really bad days like that, but at least I'm not suicidal. At least I'm not having some of those thoughts creeping at the back of my mind. And I feel way more peaceful now. Like even though I'm less focused, it's a better way to live because I just feel good. I feel great. So, yeah, the lesson for me is I don't need to be competent. I don't need to be focused. I don't need any of that. I can just be myself, and I'm not perfect, but that's fine. That's okay. You don't have to be perfect. If you're not good at something, it's okay. Yeah, it hurts to not be able to do things as well as other people, but we're just kind of built in a way where we can't do certain things like other people can. We have limitations. We shouldn't try to fight against them. I mean, some limitations, yes, we should. I think there are some limitations you can overcome and you should try to overcome. I mean, for myself, over the years of not taking medication, I've found good ways to work with my ADHD, and those make me able to move forward even though I'm not focused. But you don't have to fix every problem in your life, and there are some problems that aren't worth trying to fix. Better to just let other people know you're weak and let other people help you get through those things. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and it's okay to have weaknesses that you know are weaknesses that aren't fixed, that you haven't really been able to fix. That's fine. So, yeah, I think if you accept your own strengths, your own weaknesses, your own limitations, there's a lot of peace that can come with that. You won't feel like you need to constantly get better, like you've got this stress looming over you that to work and improve all the time. It's good to improve, but you don't have to do it with every bit of time you have. It can be a slow process, and that's okay. You can just exist in the moment, and you can grieve those losses, but they don't they won't hold you down if you accept that they are. And so yeah, I look at how I am now, and I'm happy. You know, I that joy from Ecuador, it's still not completely there, but I felt a lot of it come back. I feel happier now, more joyful. I feel like I can better be present with people. You know, maybe less able to focus and talk intelligently with them, but present, emotionally present. I feel like myself. I thought that I would be more myself when I was focused, but not really. When I become focused, certain things go away. On medication, sure, I could get complex problems done. I was better at working on creative projects, but I kind of realized some of those quirks of how I function were kind of charming. Like not to be not in a self-gratifying way, but I kind of like those about me. So, yeah, I think we can all just stand to relax a little bit. Stop stop trying to be perfect. Yes, try to improve, but don't idolize it. Don't make it something you must do. Just make it something you'll do on the time frame that makes sense, on a time frame that doesn't riddle you with anxiety and lead you into depression. If you can't survive your lifestyle as it is, then honestly I'd say change your lifestyle or ask for help. Because people we're we're not alone here. People are here to help us. We're here to help people too, you know. If people ask for help, we should, I think, in many circumstances help those people, but we should also not be afraid to ask for help because sometimes we need it. All right. Well, that's your thought for today. That's all I've got to say. I'm glad to still be making these videos. I think it's going to be a little tougher to do them now that I'm not taking my ADHD meds. They really did help me keep a coherent thought. Like, I don't know if you'd noticed this, but it feels like this video's been a little more rambling. I ramble much easier when I don't have medication. But that's okay. At least I'm making these videos. At least I'm getting through it, and at least I'm finding a way to share some of these thoughts, which I think are important. And I hope that you found this valuable for you. I hope you got something out of it. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's the weekend. I hope that goes well for you, and the whole week coming up. I hope it's great for you. I hope to talk to you in the future, and goodbye.